Very good. We got another question from Marianne. We got a SK on the line.
All
SK,
right.
if you would, go forward with your question, please.
Okay. I would just like to know that if you have a debt that you called to find out about the debt and they said it don't matter if you file bankruptcy and that they can continue taking money out of my Social Security disability, is that true?
Oh, no, ma'am. SK, so I'm sorry to hear that you're having to deal with that. That's terrible. So as a general rule, and this is important for everybody to know, is if you're dealing with these creditors calling you, if you're dealing with folks who are out there hassling you and hustling you, trying to get money out of you, they'll tell you, oh, we're going to put a lien on your homestead. Not in the state of Florida. You're not. Yeah. Oh, we're going to garnish your Social Security and disability. Absolutely not in the state of Florida. Nope. So if they are threatening to garnish your Social Security or disability, they simply cannot. It is statutorily prohibited. So in the event that you were to file bankruptcy, what we would do is that disability and Social Security income is 100% exempt income.
Yes.
So we include that income in your bankruptcy. Can't anybody touch it. And we bring that debt in, that debt gets discharged, and then you walk away free and clear, not having to worry about that debt, not having to deal with the stress of somebody threatening to take the money that you need to get by on a daily basis, and you get that fresh start.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mike. What if we have a scenario where you haven't, like the gentleman before, and you have some sort of income tax liability or wage tax liability? Can the federal government deduct from your Social Security? I know they have some superpowers and things, and I've seen some weird stuff. So
Man,
is that even potentially feasible in a scenario? That doesn't sound like that's what SK's dealing with.
It's not what SK is dealing with. And so what you're talking about would be general Social Security and retirement garnishment from the IRS as a result of an IRS debt. And I think at that point, again, it would go back to the type and nature of the debt. I'll say this, I have seen the federal government do some very fascinating things to collect debts, and a lot of folks don't necessarily know they can do that.
And the reason I bring that up, Mike, is I saw this happen to somebody one time, and I think I referred them out, obviously, because that's not something I understand or have the capability of, but it was sad to see someone that needed that money to live, and they had a scenario where something got messed up on their, with the federal government, and they started withholding from those Social Security benefits.
And they're probably the only institution that's able to do that, and they're one of the hardest ones to negotiate back out of with.
And they can do things they can garnish automatically. Typically, a debtor or creditor has to get a judgment and start going and do the judicial process.
That's right.
The federal government can skip those steps.
That's right.